All right, let's carry on with our story.
Yeah.
Something I thought was funny. Blue Collar Tech talks about making no-code dummy-proof.
He does.
Yeah, which I chuckled at.
I like that.
But I think what he's getting at is, like, the importance of breaking down these,
Yes.
complex processes into smaller, more manageable steps.
Exactly.
Because a lot of, like, traditional coding tutorials are super technical.
Oh, yeah.
And they use all this jargon.
Right.
Which can be really intimidating for beginners.
It's like trying to learn a whole new language overnight, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
But Blue Collar Tech, he really emphasizes clarity and simplicity.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like anyone can follow along, regardless of their background.
And that's so important because at the end of the day,
Yeah.
the goal is to empower people to build things themselves, right?
Yeah, literally.
Not just to understand the theory,
Right.
but to actually be able to create stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we've talked about how Blue Collar Tech is demystifying no code and using AI to enhance his process, but he doesn't just stop at the basics.
Okay.
He hints at some pretty advanced things he's doing too.
Like what?
Like using APIs, for example.
Yes, APIs.
Yeah, and I know for anyone who's not familiar,
Yeah, it can sound a little intimidating.
it sounds scary.
Right.
But basically, think of APIs as messengers
Okay.
that allow different apps to talk to each other.
Gotcha.
So, like, you could have a contact form on your website
Right.
that uses an API to send data to a backend system for,
Yeah.
storage and management and stuff.
So it's like a behind.
Yeah, so that's one example. Another example for like what an API is and how it actually works. In this little Taskmaster that I built for myself, you have these portfolio summaries, which I actually haven't bothered to add anything to this, but I can go ahead and do that live right now. AVAX, quantity 1, purchase price, like $27. Add holding. So now when I go to my portfolio summary, yeah, so I've got AVAX, quantity of 1, current value is 32.13. But the way that this is actually recorded, which it's not going to, for some reason I lost the functionality. I didn't realize this when I updated to the latest version of this. I didn't realize that I used to have, like, it'd say AVAX and then it would say the gain in the last 24 hours, like the gain or loss in percentage, dollar figure, purchase price, current value, that kind of stuff. But essentially what I did is I have this hooked up to CoinGecko. I use an API from CoinGecko to automatically give me updated pricing. Because you notice how when I added this, I added it as $27, but the current value is at $32.13. So that's a simple example of how an API works.
Behind the scenes connection
Exactly.
that makes everything work smoothly.
Exactly.
Good.
And Blue Collar Tech even shows a demo of how he uses an API
Okay.
with GPT, which is the tech behind ChatGPT, to create these, like,
Wow.
personalized interactions in a contact form.
That's amazing.
So imagine, like, submitting a query and getting a response that feels like tailored just for you.
Yeah, that's incredible. It makes you realize that even something as simple as a contact form
Right.
can be made so much more like dynamic and engaging
Yeah, totally.
with no code and AI.
And he even takes it a step further, talking about using no code for things like
Yeah.
workflow automation consulting
Oh, wow.
and building custom tools for businesses.
That's really interesting.
I mean, that's the ultimate goal, right? Definitely not there yet on my technical abilities, but from the research I've done and the people I've talked to in the space, I can already picture how I can take some of these ideas I have, piece them together, and build real solutions that solve problems and creates value and new customers for some of my potential customers. I'll dive into that more on another date, kind of what workflow automation looks like. If you're curious, just go to YouTube and type it in, or go to TikTok and type it in. There'll be all kinds of content on it if you want to learn more about it. But I'm going to cover that more in another session, and really start from the ground up on that because I'm very new to it.
Yeah, seems like he's not just a content creator, he's like an entrepreneur too.
Right.
Using these skills in the real world.
Very cool.
Yeah, which is inspiring.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm really curious to hear more about how he's applying these skills to businesses.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like he's really tapped into something